Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week. This is part 2 for the week of January 10th. If you didn't watch part 1, it's linked up down below in the comments. But we are just going to lay out these anchor cards at the top here, and then we are going to get started. And that card didn't want to come, but there we go. In your first row here, you have the Swan Spirit. It says time for a deep dive. So I think the deep dive, in your first reading, we were talking about how you might be taking a lot of thinking time with the Knight of Swords energy that was showing up here in your reading. Again, Knight of Swords traditionally is not a card of thinking necessarily. It could be. It's a swords card, but you know, I feel that's what I was getting off of that. So I feel like you're taking a lot of time to think and to plan, and that would be a good thing with this card. I think it would be a good time for you to, you know, basically, swans, when they feed, they stick their head underwater, and that's what's popping into my head. I think you're kind of spending time, you know, on the spiritual side of things. Maybe you're meditating, maybe you're dreaming or whatever, and that's exactly how I would use this energy. I would use it to, you know, dream, plan, think, meditate, whatever. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Death card. We already know that you're undergoing a major kind of like wake-up call transformation thing here with the Judgment card. And so I think you are changing as a person, and really that's really all I feel with this energy. That's it. I don't know what else to say because that's all I feel. With the Five of Swords, you have with the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition. The Two of Swords is just needing to see that there's like another way of doing things. Now that I think about it, I feel like I didn't even, it's kind of weird. I feel like I didn't even cover the first row in the first reading, and now I'm going to have to go back and watch it because I feel like I totally skipped over the Two of Swords, which I probably did. But I kind of feel with this Two of Swords energy that it's like saying you need to kind of like open your eyes and look at the new world. Like she needs to take her blindfold off and see that there's a new island behind her here. And she can go over there and, I don't know, she's going to discover new things over there for her life. And you have the Judgment card. Judgment card is like saying, step out of the coffin, experience your new life. Same thing. The Five of Wands is a card that I call like Indiana Jones. To me, it's like a card of going on some sort of crazy adventure where there could be conflict, there could be competition, but eventually you find your treasure. So the Five of Wands doesn't say stop. It doesn't say, you know, don't enter into this competition, don't go on this adventure. It says, yeah, there are going to be some challenges, but you should do it anyway. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Five of Cups here. I feel like you need to realize that the Ten of Wands is coming up in the area of your thoughts, like thinking about all the responsibilities and all the things that you could be carrying from other people and other situations. Five of Cups is kind of like the fear of letting that go. Sometimes I do think that we carry some heavy burdens, or we carry some burdens, and we do fear letting them go, even though they're a burden. Maybe a burden makes us feel like we have a sense of purpose. Maybe carrying the worries of other people, makes us feel like we're doing something, or gives us a sense of purpose. It's like, why do you think people love drama, right? It's because it gives them something to worry about. It gives them something to think about and worry about and all this other stuff, right? And so I feel like some of you are kind of maybe experiencing the sadness of releasing something. Kind of a weird message, I'm not going to lie, Sagittarius, but you could be like fearing the sadness of letting go of something that you really don't want to necessarily let go of, but look at what you have to gain. If he just turns around and sees these two cups, he also gets this bridge that leads to this castle over here. And so it's like you have a lot more to gain by letting go of some burdens than you do to lose. You're not losing anything by releasing some responsibilities that maybe aren't yours, or some thoughts that aren't yours. And that's kind of what I'm getting on that Five of Cups energy. Next, you have this Resilience card. It says there's no need to rush or push. We talked about this with the Knight of Swords. This is time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. There you go. Exactly like I was saying with the Knight of Swords, I would not be pushing and rushing through things with that Knight of Swords energy. Just allow things to happen. You know, if you feel like working, like I said in your first reading, if you feel like doing a bunch of work, do it. Like today, I've done 1 million readings. I don't even know what time it is. It's almost 1 o'clock, and I've been here since very early this morning. So I can't even talk now. Probably going to stop after this reading, right? But it's like, if you feel like working, work. If you don't. I would listen to yourself. I think the Queen of Wands is the energy that you should be embracing this week from this reading. Queen of Wands, she trusts her instincts more than anything really, and her feelings. Like if she feels like doing work, she does it. If she feels she needs to take a day off or needs to take time to meditate, needs to go to the bathroom and scream into the wall, she does it, right? She kind of operates, I don't want to say from like animal instinct, but she trusts her instincts. She trusts those feelings, and she knows when she needs to have a release or needs to relax or whatever. And that's what this card is saying to me for you. And the Knight of Swords is also saying, like I said in the first reading, I'm not so much getting the rushing energy as I am getting the thoughtful energy. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer shores, seeing what's on the other side. There's a lot of this energy going on here in these readings. Pretty weird. It's kind of weirding me out in general. I'm not so sure how to feel about this year in general as far as 2022 is concerned. Mostly because of these readings. They've kind of got me into this, like, just intuitively into this weird zone where I'm like, okay, what's going on? But really, what I would say, and what I've said to other people, is that this year is 222, 2022, and it's a 2-year. So it's like the year is splitting. It's almost like there are two energies that you can exist in this year. And I think that's why I'm feeling kind of pulled in multiple different directions. But it seems to me that most people who are watching these videos are going in the new direction. It's like you're going towards the new earth. And maybe that's what you're thinking about with the Six of Swords. Definitely moving on to calmer shores. With the Magician, you have the Page of Wands. I would move towards desire, is what I'd say to you. Queen of Wands, right here. Queen of Wands, Death card. Page of Wands, Magician to the Ten of Cups. The Page of Wands, he kind of does what he desires to do. He's very focused on more like, again, how does something make me feel? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me feel bad? And I would just focus on good feelings with the Page of Wands. That's really what he does. There's also a very strong energy of adventure here. You are a Sagittarius. I mean, Sagittarius is the sign of adventure. But Five of Wands, Page of Wands, Eight of Wands, even movement. So I feel like if you're going on an adventure, if you're hoping to go on an adventure, I would definitely do it. This could be an adventure of your mind as well. You could be learning about something new. That's an adventure. Training, pretty much anything. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Dreaming, he is hoping for blessings. There's a person right here who is receiving blessings from another person in that stained glass window. He is praying for blessings. He is praying for better days. He's wishing and hoping for something. That's why he's praying or meditating on this card. The Eight of Wands is your arrows of desire, your rockets of desire, as Esther Hicks says. She says we're always telling the universe what we want, and then the universe responds, right? The Eight of Wands is literally the arrows of love in the traditional, the traditional way to read the card. Is that we're telling the universe what we want and love, and the universe is responding. But, now I would say in a general reading, the Eight of Wands could just be you telling the universe whatever you want, and the universe is responding. And how does the universe respond? Well, maybe with your dreams on the Four Swords, or maybe you meditate and you get clues on what direction you should move in. I would definitely do it. I think your biggest challenge here, and it's not even that big of a challenge, let me tell you, is that it's a little bit unrealistic. With the Four Swords and the Knight of Cups showing up, you have the right here, and then your next card is the Knight of Cups up here. It's a little bit, unrealistic. It's a little bit ridiculous. Even your next card is this card. It says Under My Umbrella. It's got this ridiculous looking bird on it right there. Love it. I haven't even seen this card yet. This is probably going to be my favorite. But what I would say is it's like, maybe there's something ridiculous going on here. It's like maybe your dreams are a little bit ridiculous. Maybe the type of relationship you want is a little bit ridiculous. Maybe you're like, I'm going to marry an NBA player. Or maybe you're like, I'm going to marry this Victoria's Secret model. Whatever you're into, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Maybe you want to marry Bigfoot. Go for it, is what I would say. Maybe it's a little bit ridiculous. But, there's a saying, just so crazy it might work, right? So I feel like for some of you, it's like you might have this crazy-ass idea going on in your head right now about whatever. Love, money, spirituality, business, whatever. But, I don't know, if you protect your idea, if you kind of nurture it into existence, it's just so crazy it might work. And that's kind of the feeling I get off of this Under My Umbrella card here, Sagittarius. Pretty interesting. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Magician. Yeah, see, like I said, you can attract whatever you want into your life. You have the Magician twice in your reading. You can have whatever you like, right? Didn't I say this to you last week? Or, I don't know, it was somebody else I was talking about that. But I feel you just need to use your powers of manifestation. The Magician is pointing to the Judgment card Again, the people on the Judgment card, they just need to make the decision to get out of the coffin. They just need to make the choice to step out into the new world. And that's what I would do if I were you. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles, putting in the work. I feel like you're putting in the hard work. I feel like you're working very hard towards your goals, wishes, and dreams. I love this because he has this empty field below him here. And the empty field, he needs to get to work. He needs to plant seeds. He needs to make something happen. The good news is you have this Six of Pentacles, and Six of Pentacles is literally the card of planting seeds. So it looks to me like you're getting to work. This is the area of your closest relationships, meaning every single relationship in your life. You could be doing some work on your relationships. You could be working together with other people or whatever, but I see this as work in general that you're doing in your life. It's like you're planting seeds. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles, work. Eight of Pentacles, I can't even hold on to it. Eight of Pentacles is a card of work, putting in the hard work, manifesting something. I feel like you're going to manifest things very quickly. Again, Eight of Wands right next to it. Eight of Wands to the Eight of Pentacles. This is like quick success. It's things happening very quickly. It's going to require work. I want to stress that. People always say to me, like, you said I was going to be a millionaire, which I never say, number one, to the one person that's going to say it. And I didn't. I'm like, well, what did you do to make it happen? The answer is always nothing. So it's like, yeah, you can't do nothing. Tarot isn't magic, and even though you have the Magician here twice. But what I would say is if you put in the work, Eight of Pentacles, hard work, focusing on one thing, then there's a lot of success for you here, in quick success. It's like quick results. It's like life isn't meant to be easy, as I keep telling people. We have to do the work, plain and simple. With the Judgment card, you have the Four of Cups here. You have everything you need. Sometimes on the Four of Cups, I think like he's got these three cups in front of him, but he's like saying, I'm missing something. This cup right here, this fourth cup, it might not exist. That might be in his imagination. He might be thinking like, oh, I need these extra things to move forward. The card itself says like, no, you have three cups in front of you that you're ignoring. You have more than enough to get started on something. You have more than enough to move forward towards a goal, wish, or dream, but you're going to have to do it. I want to see what this card is right here. You have this Seeing Both Sides card here with the hammerhead. This card says, take a step back and try to look at this from a different perspective. It's pretty weird because every single reading that I've done this week has had a card like this, like the Hierophant, the High Priestess for sure. All these cards have been coming up in these readings that represent seeing both sides, or kind of like mixing energies together. It's a 2-year, like I said, and next year is going to be 2023. We end with a 3, and I'm starting to wonder, after starting the readings this year, if it's like this year, it's like the world is splitting. We have like these two different worlds. And then next year, it's like people are going to learn that they have to become integrated, meaning that there is really no right or wrong necessarily. Of course, there are things that are wrong. Like people always, whenever I say this, people are always like, what about murder? I'm like, okay, use your freaking brain. Yes, yeah, of course murder is wrong. But I'm referring to normal things that normal people do, normal beliefs, right? There is really no right or wrong. So it's like we're going to be mixing things together here. As far as like actions we take, the way we live, all these things. And I think that's going to be very helpful for you with this energy. But pretty weird reading. I think the whole point of this reading is to protect your crazier ideas. Like I said, with that Under My Umbrella card, I think that something is just so crazy, it might work for you here, Sagittarius. I like it. So thank you for being here, Sagittarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.